Okay, Baruch Hashem, continuing to learn with the month of Tevet, sponsored by the Englano family, Leilu Nishmat Avram Chai ben Yosef Shimon. And the week is sponsored by Zava Engler, Norman Shapiro, Brandon and Eliza Beer, and Sharona and Benzion Blank. And the daily sponsor for today by Esti and Steve Solomon in honor of Raz Gutman's birthday, and Refuah Shlema to Rezel Priva Bat Shendo. Reza Priva Bat Shendo should be a Refuah Shlema B'ezrat Hashem. Okay, Chaverim, let's get right into it. We began this journey about the fixing and the blessing and the fixing of having this interesting thing called Medinat Israel, having a Medina. And what we began learning before Hanukkah 2 weeks ago was we have to pay attention to things beneath the surface, that the two most important moments in our modern history both took place in the month of Iyar. That is, Hey Iyar Yom Ha'atzmaut, and Chav Chet Iyar is Yom Yerushalayim. And the way we're learning everything, obviously, is always trying to go beneath the surface, Pnimi, trying to look at things. What is the Torah telling us about everything that's going on in the world? And making it clear that we know that even though so much of the confusion that has stemmed from the way that this state was founded doesn't necessarily mean that the whole thing is pasul, the whole thing is treif, and we just gotta wipe it all out and figure it out all from scratch, but rather, obviously, me'et Hashem ait azot, it was from Hashem that what happened, and when it happened, the timing of it when it happened. And it's giving us another chance to look deeper into, for ourselves at least, recreating the founding of a new consciousness of living in the state of Eretz Yisrael, living in the state of Israel, of Eretz Yisrael, 2.0, post the first 75 years. And we learned last week, like you see on Daf Chaf, it's the second page in front of you, we learned the second paragraph that we know there's a Chazal tell us, "En HaKadosh Baruch Hu maket Yisrael eleim ken borei lehem refuat chila." We got such a makah, chevra. We got such a makah. The hashpala that we received, the makah that we got, is so intense. We don't even realize how intense it is. We still haven't really tasted how brutally intense this makah really is, and still is. But Hashem always sends the refuah before the makkah. That's a cloud that we have. Hashem always sends the healing before the getting the whack. So we have to look now into trying to find the healing in a way that we didn't look at so far. And Hashem should have, please, a lot of siyat dishmaya, please, a lot of help, so that we hold on for dear to life to the way that we're going to be looking into the depth of this sugya right now. The way that the Ba'al Shem Tov teaches us to live and to observe and to look at the world is that we're people of light. You don't need Hanukkah to be a person of light. Hanukkah just enhances the element that we're all made out of, which is we're people of light. Anachnu anshe aor. Yonatan Atiyas was walking around with a shirt last week that said, "Be the light," which just means be yourself, really. We're people of light. I think that one of the things that gets us most angriest right now is that our enemy disconnects us from the natural state of our being, which is anshe or, people of light. We're people of light. Anachnu anashim shel or, right? And the anger is how what you did disconnected me from how I naturally am, of what my essence really is. We're not anshe choshech, we're not anshe kas, we're not people of anger, nor of darkness. We're people of light. And what we're going to be seeing right now is an opportunity to do the healing that this country desperately needs through some very, very, very fundamental approaches of how the Ba'al Shem Tov explained to us how to lihitrapot, how to get healed. So look over here, Ripui Ba'or. You see on Daf Chaf, Ripui Ba'or. Does everyone have? Does anyone need? Mm-hmm. You enjoy being shy? It's It's not for here. Here you speak out. לא דבר ריקו. ששני המאורעות הבולטים ביותר בהיסטוריה הקצרה של מדינת ישראל אירעו בחודש אייר. Rav Ginsburg Shlita says, come on, חבר'ה. Did you ever stop and go into the pnimius of the month of Iyar? When both of these things, the establishment, declaring the state of Israel, and the Yom Yerushalayim, both happened in Chodesh Iyar. על מנת להעריך את משמעות הדבר, עלינו לפנות אל התורה, תוכנית הבריאה של הקדוש ברוך הוא. What's the healing system, the healing process Hashem gave us before the world? Torah, istakel be'oraisa, ubara alma. If we say that Hashem gave us the truth before the Makkah, that means, what did Hashem create before He created this world? The Torah. Istakel be'oraita ubara alma. He looked into the Torah, then He created the world. We have to always go back to looking at deeper and deeper realms of the Torah in order to get the guidance to understand how the healing should take place. And it starts with the month of Iyar. ראשית, עלינו להתבונן בשם החודש. כיוון ששמו של כל דבר בלשון הקודש, בין אם מדובר בדבר מוחשי וגשמי, ובין אם מדובר בהוויה של נפש או של זמן, מצביע על עיקר מהותו ועל הכוח שניטע בו בשעת בריאתו. What did he say over here? Your name, within your name is your essence. We know this about our actual names, right? Like everyone knows our parents had a certain element of prophecy when they named us what they named us. Because within that name that each of us were given is our mahut, is our essence, is our koach. So too with everything that was given a name, especially when the Torah gives it a name, within it is its essence as well. What's the name of this month? L'shem HaChodesh Iyar, Shoresh Meshutaf im hamila Or. So just first of all, there's a Shoresh Meshutaf between the word light and the month of Iyar, with the letters. B'Tanakh mechune Chodesh Zeh b'Shem Chodesh Ziv. In the Tanakh, I think it's in Sefer Melachim. Yeah, Melachim. It says that then the month of Iyar is called Chodesh Ziv. What does Ziv mean? What does it mean? Huh? Array, yeah, array. Hadur na'eh ziv ha'olam. Hadur na'eh ziv ha'olam. Gam mashmauto shel ziv hi or. There's a lot of light going on in the month of Iyar. B'Kabbalah ne'emar she'Iyar hu rashi tevot shel Ani Hashem Rofecha. And we know that the month of Iyar stands for I am Hashem, your healer. Ani Hashem Rofecha. So we have a lot of light and we have a lot of healing that takes place in this very powerful month of Iyar. Any birthday boys in Iyar here? Yeah? What date are you in Iyar?
Chav Bet.
What? Bet Iyar? Chav Bet Iyar.
The fact that Iyar is a Bavli name is not to deal with it?
He's most of them are Bavli names, but that were adapted into into the fabric of society. And that means, like we said many times before, sheyesh shama inyan shel tzchim, like if a certain name was caught on and it kept on going, it means that it shaykhs to our shoresh neshama as well. There's a lot of names like that in the what's another total Bavli name from the months? Like really Bavli. Like really freaky actually, that it's a name of a Tammuz. It's a goddess. Tammuz is it's very interesting. And yet Rabbi Nachman has a Torah in Likutei Moharan that says Tammuz is Rashi Teva Zichru Torahs Moshe. Right? Okay. Lachen yadua, second line. חודש אייר בתורת החסידות כחודש המתאפיין בכוחות רפואה אלוקיים, ריפוי הנובע מאור. So when you learn Chassidus, whenever it comes to the month of Iyar, it always teaches us that the month of Iyar has within it godly healing, the type of healing that comes from an abundance of light. Now today, modern medicine doesn't work like that. How does modern medicine work? Spritz darkness into more darkness, and hopefully you'll kill out some of the darkness together with some of the light, and hopefully you'll be left with something nice at the end of the day. Huh? Some light will remain, right? Ripui ba'or, but healing with light. Hu darko shel morenu Rabbi Yisrael Ba'al Shem Tov. This is just such a simple thing, but it's so beautiful. But Ba'al Shem Tov was a healer. But how did he heal? He healed, and Chabad takes this very literally. He healed with an abundance of light. He said the more light there'll be in a place, the less darkness there'll be, the more healing will take place. Mecholel Tnuat HaChasidut, shelimed et talmidav, he taught his students, ki en megarshim et hachoshech b'makel. You don't dispel darkness with a staff, with a stick, saying, go away. Right? That's not how you get rid of darkness. Yesh lefazer et choshech hametziut al yedei hashpa'at or dafka. The way that you dispel a reality of darkness is with an abundance of light. במקום להילחם בחושך בתחומו שלו, ובכך לייחס לו ממשות, instead of fighting darkness in its domain, meaning I got to meet the enemy where he's at, and then give him some kind of entitlement, then say, oh, I acknowledge your existence. יש להאיר לאומתו את אור האמת. You must illuminate L'umato, for him, the light of truth. The Nasiv Shalom said a great thing, not once. He said many, many great things, but it's one thing I remember, first time I read it, he said, how do you punish an evil person? Like, when the evil person dies, how do you give him Gehenna? Put him in Gan Eden. Because for a Rasha, being in Gan Eden is Gehenna, right? For a Rasha, being in the Garden of Eden is mamish hell, right? So, what's that?
Bring him into the Shir Klali in Yiddish.
במקום להילחם בחושך בתחומו שלו, בהכרח לייחס לו ממשות, יש להאיר לאומתו את אור האמת. Because then what will happen? If you put the truth of the light of truth in front of him, אזי הוא יתפוגג וימוג מאליו. It'll die over. It'll kill over. Meaning it won't have any existence left anymore. Where do we see this? Yitzias Mitzrayim? You think there was just darkness in Makat Choshech? It wasn't. It was such an abundance of light that Yidden were zoche for the light. And how do we know that? There's a pasuk. Ulivnei Yisrael haya or b'moshavotam. It says that Yidden were basking in light. Makat Choshech was really an abundance of light. It's just that for the Rishaim of Egypt, that actually was death for them. Iyar, very good. Very good. בכל שכן ריבוי אור הדוחה את החושך לגמרי, ואף הופך את החושך עצמו לאור גדול, שאזי יש בו יתרון כיתרון האור הבא מן החושך עצמו. This is the classic Alter Rebbe, this is Netanya, that the more that a bit of light dispels a tremendous amount of darkness, but it's not just that it dispels darkness. The point of that, the Alter Rebbe says that there's two functions that a lot of light bring down into the world. One is called iskafia, and one is called ishapcha. I'm talking to Bekiim in Tanya already, people that know Tanya. One means, iskafia means I have to coerce, lakuf, I have to force my light over the darkness, but eventually, what will happen? Ishapcha. It'll be all flipped over. Now, you're all thinking right now, how are we going to cause this with the Yishmaelim? They're bichlal not a part of the picture, because none of them are going to be here. I'm talking about Am Yisrael. Just to be clear, okay? I can't tell if your faces are like, you think I'm naive, or you think I'm naive, huh? You think they're going to keep on being?
I understand what you say.
I love, that's my favorite comment. It's the most MSD comment. When we're speaking about dispelling darkness and flipping over darkness, changing it into light, you may be wondering, like, what are you talking about? How could we have changing these animals into light? No, they're done. They're going to be out of here because my children have to live in Eretz Yisrael. They're out. They're done. What the Torah we're speaking about over here is the Torah of the Am Yisrael, that's very confused and lost. That, whatever darkness is within the Am, has to be itkafya and ithapcha. The light, the ripui ba'or.
The or we're talking about is Torah, the Aura.
Let's see.
Or-
Let's see. Yeah. Well, we're going to discuss that thoroughly.
Well, isn't that true for all the darkness in the world, though?
100%.
It's not just within the Am. It is all. Meaning, like the way to raise out the light is by killing them.
No, but we're starting, again, listen, put it like this. Let's say, Be'ezrat Hashem, that they're all out of here by tonight. Can you hear that song, right? Let's say, right? Nachon. Then we're all dandy? Not bitom. Let's, what do you think? That just causes then suddenly everyone is just going to run to a mikvah? Everyone's just immediately gonna I don't know, run here on Friday night? No, not bitom. It's not that. There's still, forget about that. The animals will be done with. I'm speaking about betoch ha'am, what's within us, the ripui, the healing that needs to take place because of something that was founded in a very complicated way, which is the state of Israel. The complication and the confusion within the founding of the state that we live in needs a huge, huge healing. We all know this. We all know this. I just wanted to make it clear that I'm not speaking right now about, we're going to flip over darkness into light and suddenly, Fatima and Mustafa are going to come over for dinner Friday night. No, it's done. It never was and it never will. That's not happening. I'm speaking about Tom and Agam. You know what I mean? Like, take the most, modern Israeli, you know what I mean? Like, you work with probably, like, our brothers and sisters and meeting like that. Understanding why we're here through light, through clarity. Being very clear why we came back after 2,000 years. Not being confused about it. Creating a whole dimension of light that it's clear to everyone, what in the world are we doing here and why did we come back after 2,000 years? That's the type of light we're speaking about over here. Okay? And then Mimele, if I have that, then the other things that aren't confusing at all, with so much light happening within Am Yisrael and so much clarity amongst the Am, you think an enemy would think they have a chance to come and infiltrate into the system? It's the most protected system in the world. It's Am Echad, for real. Not due to tragedy, but in its essence. Then the nation would have nothing. Okay. And why is this in Chodesh Iyar? Why did these things, Yom HaAtzmaut and Yom Yerushalayim, happen in Chodesh Iyar? You all know already. Look what Rav Ginsburg says. B'Torah niska rak moed echad achal b'Chodesh Iyar. Let's go back to the Torah. What's the one date we have in the Torah that has to do with Chodesh Iyar? Pesach Sheni, the holiday of second chances. Hechel b'Yudaled b'Chodesh. Achal b'Yudaled b'Chodesh. On the 14th day of the month of Iyar, we have, especially in Hasidus, they go crazy with Pesach Sheni, because it's really our Torah. Our whole world is Pesach Sheni.
Right in the middle of the month.
It's smack in the middle. Pesach Sheni, the holiday of second chances, the Torah of second chances. This is something very deep, and I don't know I didn't see it if he gets there, but this is one of my favorite Torahs from the Ishbitzer. I think we said this in Rav Shlomo Bereshit, I'm not sure, but really the whole world is Pesach Sheni. How do we know this? Because what is the first word of the Torah? It's really Pesach Sheni. Beis Reshis, a second chance to start over again. I tell you the story about a chuppah I did once. Maybe some of you were there. So I said, it was a Torah. It was a widow, a woman that lost her husband, and I think a man that was either divorced and lost his wife. So I said over the Torah, I was like, "Wow, you're Mekayim. This is like a Bereshis chuppah because it's the Torah of the second chances, right?" So after the chuppah, one of the children came up to me and he said, "Actually, it's gracious, not Bereshis." Yeah, so I'm very careful when I find out much better when these things happen. Mashmeuto shel Pesach Sheni hi hezdamnut shniya. The meaning of Pesach Sheni is second chance. למרות שהתורה מצווה עלינו להקריב את קורבן הפסח בי"ד בניסן, ניתנה הזדמנות נוספת לאדם שהיה טמא לנפש או בריחוק מקום, להקריב את פסחו חודש מאוחר יותר. This is an amazing thing that came about from a ratzon from the Am. People that felt that they were, they had FOMO. They missed out on the opportunity to bring the Korban Pesach in its time, which is the 14th of Nisan. Now, who these people were, there's a lot of different opinions exactly what was the cause of that tumah. Some say that it was because they were carrying the aron of Yosef while they came out of Mitzrayim, and therefore they couldn't bring the korban because of tumas meis. But that chita always bothered me because we hold that there's no tumah by kedoshim, by tzaddikim. So, but there's a lot of things to say about it. The bottom line is that this amazing thing. The Torah says, and it's Pesach, like the highest holiday, one of the most important mitzvahs, Korban Pesach. And the Yid says, I missed out. And they bring about from Moshe Rabbeinu, saying, you got to bring us another Torah, another holiday. And he brings out, he comes to Hashem, and he brings out Pesach Sheni. Yafeh. So he says like this, מעניין שהדברים תואמים גם את מיקומו של חודש אייר בלוח השנה היהודי. שהרי אייר הוא החודש השני למניין החודשים, המתחיל מניסן, ובו נותנת התורה לאדם הזדמנות שנייה. When is this second chance given to us? In the second month. It's very interesting. It's like right away. Right after the first beginning, Hashem says, if you really want to fix things, for real, because it's about korban, which means karov, if you really want to fix things, if you really felt like you missed out on the first opportunity to be close to me, that's what a korban means. Korban, to be close. I'm going to give you another chance right away, if it's about being close to me. Yom Ha'atzmaut and Yom Yerushalayim are in the month where another chance of being close to me was given. And that's what the whole story here is all about. Betula. Ve'idach zil gmor. The rest, go and learn. This is the yesod of how we're going to approach the rest of this learning. כל חג בלוח העברי מאיר עלינו באור אחר, לכל אחד מסר מיוחד, הנוגע לעבודת השם שלנו ולמילוי תפקידנו בכל השנה כולה. That every holiday on the Jewish calendar illuminates another light for us. Each holiday is a certain message that has to do with our godly service and to our fulfillment of our job throughout the whole year, what we're supposed to be doing here. פסח שני וחודש אייר בכללו אומרים לנו, אין עבוד, לעולם לא מאוחר מדי. Basically, what the month of Iyar is screaming to us is, Rabbeinu sha'ag, b'kol gadol, ein shum yeush ba'olam klal. That there's,
Avod is Yeush?
Avod means lost. Aveda, right? Ein avod. There's nothing lost. Le'olam lo me'uchar. It's almost like he's saying like this. If the state of Israel, if Hey Iyar and Chavchet Iyar happened in like Shvat, we'd be doomed. We'd probably be doomed. It's just that it happened in the month that it happened, is it's screaming out to us, Ein Yeush ba'olam klal. לא משנה באיזה מצב אנו נמצאים, לאיזה תהום ירדנו. It doesn't matter what situation we find ourselves in, to what deep darkness we've fallen into, like giving back chunks of this land to mass murderers who came and raped our brothers and sisters. עד כמה נטמנו והתרחקנו ממילוי שליחותנו ותפקידנו בחיים, no matter how much we've become impurified and have distanced ourselves from actually being what we're supposed to be in this world. No matter how much we've idolized and made such an avodah zarah out of Israel being high-tech representation in the world and all that shtuyot, tamid anu yecholim letaken et matzavenu. We could always fix our situation. Liskot liizdamnut shniya me'es Hashem, to merit another chance from Hashem. Always. Kachu gam beyachas lemedinat Yisrael. And this is heavy. Because most of us are feeling like this whole place needs one huge, like, dissectomy, or I don't know what, or, a complete, a full reset. And to a certain extent, that could happen in the context of Pesach Sheni, of a second chance. But when he says over here, Kamum gam biyachas lemedinat Yisrael, what's my approach to the Medinat Yisrael? You know how many of my friends that grew up very Tzioni homes, but not so into Yiddishkeit, when they got into Yiddishkeit, one of the first things they dropped was Tzionut. Why? Because it didn't shtim. It didn't go together. If I'm really getting frum, if I'm getting Sif Avodat Hashem, Mali Velashtuyot Elu, that didn't need any godly element into it in order to be it. That I'm just saying, I'm not saying anything other than explaining a mitziyut that many of my friends went through. Remember Rabbi Uri Zohar, Alav Shalom, Zecher Tzadik Livracha? What a gadol he was. Now, gadol. What an anav tzanua. I such a missed opportunity that I didn't take advantage. I could have gone and met him and be with him, and I didn't. And I don't remember what the situation was, but whatever. So when he was first starting to do tshuva, if you look at the videos of him, he looked like a regular, Mizrachnik. You know what that means? No, not Mizrachi. Like half of what we look like, meaning Dati Lomi, yeah. And he said, but then he realized while he was doing tshuva, he's like, yeah, this can't be, because at my shows, which were filthy, right? He said half the crowd looked like Dati Lomi chaver. He's like, so I realized it can't be here. I gotta keep on going, right? I gotta keep on going. Meaning he saw it doesn't work. The whole mix of everything, and then starting to become light about certain things, and it doesn't work. But Zionism, Yeharagu Bal Yavor, right? It doesn't work like that. There needs to be a reboot of how we understand the concept of tzionut as well. Very much so. So, let's continue. Kachu gam beyachas למדינת ישראל. העובדה שהמדינה נוסדה, לחמה וניצחה במלחמותיה, דווקא בחודש אייר, מלמדת אותנו שאסור להתייאש. I mean, the fact that the country fought and won its battles in the month of Iyar is signaling to us that there is a asur lihityaesh DNA within the fabric of this Medina. And this Eretz for sure, right? It has to be. האור המאיר את דרכנו בכל תהפוכות מציאותה של המדינה הוא אור של הזדמנות שנייה. The light that illuminates our paths in all of its realities of this state that we're in is a light of a second chance. Or shel bechol zot. Bechol zot means nonetheless. It's, honestly, I never thought that I would be saying these words after, the truth is, since Oslo, I can't believe how much tshuva I have to do right now, because I've been held for so long. This is toast. This whole entity, you can't, it just, yivshai. It's too much toast. It's gone. It's done. But the Ba'al Shem Tov forces you to always look at things in a more pneumistic way, and to really engage in a more real, beneath the surface relationship with what you see in front of you. This month gives us light and strengthens us. שנדע למרות כל המשברים והירידות המתרגשות ובאות אלינו, ולמרות שגם ההצלחות לפעמים אינן מתקיימות בידינו, יפה כוח האור לנצח את החושך, ולעולם אין זה מאוחר מדי לתקן את המצב. It's never too late to fix the situation. Now, we haven't discussed yet what it means to fix the situation. Okay? But let's already define what it doesn't mean. Okay? Just for ourselves. What doesn't it mean when we say, let's fix the situation? What doesn't it mean? Let's get a few things crystal clear.
Going back to where we were before Simchat Torah, finishing to clear out Hamas and then pulling back to the borders of Gaza.
That's one. Nachon. What else?
It doesn't mean the whole thing has to be dismantled. It just has to be fixed.
So right, so it doesn't mean full dismantle. What else?
Working.
Well, we're going to try to decipher what that actually means, what's working and what's not working.
No compromise.
No compromise on?
Compromise.
On what?
Anybody else any other view besides
Yidden.
the Yidden.
Okay.
How about we put
Okay.
Torah as the
No, you're still saying, you're answering the question of what we should. I'm saying first
what we
let's
should.
define what it isn't. It's a very important thing of disqualifying. Like in think tanks, they do this quite
I have
often.
a clear illustration from the whole Sipur of Hanukkah. It's that you can have a Beit Mikdash with Yavnim, and we demonstrated the ability after almost 200 years of rule of Yavanim,
Yeah.
that we could take that Tomedik Beit Mikdash and be Metaher.
And right.
So what it's not is a secularized, watered down, so-called modern version.
Right. That can't be it.
Can't be it.
Right. It can't be it. So as when we're saying these things about what that can't be, you realize that every time we say that about the state, it also means in my own private life that can't be either. That's the hard part over here, right? Certain things just can't go anymore. Like elements that I was able to entertain and balance within my Daled Amot, it can't work anymore.
agreed.
It's hard to say yes to that one. It's easier to say about the state, listen, it can't be anymore, right? Can't be any secularized, any foreign, whatever, at home, like, whatever. What could I do? I was raised like this. The state can say the same thing. What could I do? I was raised like this. You'll have to live in terror the rest of your life. This is just the way we think. What could you do? You see, you have to understand, when we learn Pnimius, when we learn Chassidus, this is not, we're not learning theory. It's not a history book. It's not a shared values and opinions and offering them. It's a drive of working on our nefesh. It's very intense stuff. You know, it's very demanding type of work, because certain things that are so clear to us about what needs to be as the face of the state or as the country, I don't align that with what needs to be the face on the soundtrack of my home. I look at it as two separate entities. That's living galut in geula, or geula in galut. Depends how you look at it. It's hard stuff, I know, but this is going to hopefully be driving us towards a clear and attainable picture. Now, even if you hear what I just said right now and you'll be like, man, we're doomed. The state's doomed, because I know that in my Dalit Amot, this is just what's going to be. I'm not 18, I'm not 30, I'm not 50. This is just what it is. I got to change it. Now, I can't change it. I just have to accept that things are going to be like this. That has been the mindset of the leaders of this country that have led us to a very dark and confusing and dangerous place. This notion of it is what it is, we'll make the best of what it is. A Yid doesn't live like that at any stage in his life.
The 8 most dangerous words for any company is, that is the way we have always done things.
Very good.
It's always
Very good. Very good.
great.
Very good.
Has it gotten you?
In our lives, this inyan of Chodesh Iyar is much more powerful than we understand it. Rav Ginsburg is saying this: you want to understand anything about what could be? Look at when Hashem made these miracles take place. It happened in the month that doesn't have anything else in it other than Pesach Sheni. Pesach Sheni is a holiday. It's no other holiday than Pesach Sheni. Sfirat HaOmer, we'll talk about as well in the context of it's a preparation period. But in terms of a celebration period, Sfirat HaOmer is not a celebration. Pesach Sheni is saying this is it, right? We have to understand, in order to really approach a better world of tomorrow, here, we have to be clear what isn't, and we also have to always say that when we speak about what we see should be the face, v'chule, if it doesn't align with the home that you have, yesham baya, there's a problem over there. And in here, we're going to continue to get tremendous amount of guidance and strength to create that ripui ba'or. Don't be scared. All this stuff can only be healed with light, not with makot. You see, we just got the biggest makkah of our life of shechted yidden and kidnapped yidden right now, and the confusion continues. The ripui of that, in the bigger picture, is not going to come only with force. If we have more light within our people, we would have shechted all of them. this evil entity a long time ago. Long time ago.
And we were told to do it.
And itbalbalnu, because what are the 8 words?
That's not the way we do things.
The Torah is much deeper than that. So we'll continue this on Wednesday, Bezrat Hashem. If you want to if you don't want to hold on to the pages, you can give it back to me. If you want to hold on to it, it's fine. And Mazel Tov to Ari. Mazel Tov.